king, I am not a god, I am Humpday!
What's good, Tano, and welcome in another video about Warframe. Previously we took Hildryn to level cap. Now the exalted rework happened and his balefire got affected, so we have to update the build for level 9199 steel path enemies in Warframe. But first thing first, let me show you the performance at level cap. And that's Hildryn power, baby! Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Tanoa, because 79% of you watching and not subscribing. As always, before I build my weapons and my warframes, I rely on my method called DVS. And trust me, if you follow it, you'll be able to build your own stuff and experiment a lot in the game. But if you don't like my methods on how I'll proc viral and armor strip enemies in today's video, you can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods to find your own style. Next thing you need to learn is shield gating. You hear a lot of Thanos talking about it, but you don't understand it. Simply in Warframe, when you receive a fatal blow, you don't die. You lose your shield, you enter gate phase. During gate phase, screen will glitch and you become invulnerable for a certain duration based on how much shields you have. 1150 shields equal to 2.5 seconds invulnerability period, and that's the cap. But Hildryn can go for 3.5 seconds because of her passive. Now, how to shield gate? Simply, when you lose your shield, you get it back, so enemies doesn't reach your HP and you end up dead. But if enemies proc toxin on you, and that means they will ignore your shield and whatever your gate is, so you need to react by cleansing yourself. For Hildryn, pillage the second ability, or you can use a rolling guard. Simple as that. Now let's get to her kit. But before that, remember, Tano, to stick to the community guideline for comments, what to do and what not to do, to keep the comment section a constructive feedback for all the Thanos that reading the comments will benefit and learn something new. Thank you. And now starting with her kit. Passive. Hildryn full shield gate is high. After her shield is depleted, she is invulnerable to damage up to 3.5 seconds. And in my opinion, this is one of the greatest passives in the game because you need to understand how shield work. Maybe nobody told you this before. Now, when you take a damage on your shield, you regenerate shields after 1 second. If your shield is 100% depleted, means you lose all your shield and you enter gate phase, your shield will regenerate after 4 seconds. And that's how her passive comes to play. There is 3.5 seconds, so there is 0.5 seconds where you enemies are gonna have a window to kill you. But the problem is, you can't regenerate shields while you're taking damage. So technically, how this works, you have 3.5 seconds invulnerability when you gate, and you have 0.5 seconds that you need to make sure that you don't take damage, so your shield recharge, and you're good to go. So every 3.5 seconds of taking damage, after you take damage, You need to spend 4 seconds without taking damage so you can regenerate your shield and you become technically immortal. Now, the shield regenerating and stuff like that will play a huge role getting back as much shield as possible and so on. Now, how people stay alive and sit down like I did on level cap is simply because the arcane Aegis can regenerate shields while you're taking damage, and that's why it's the greatest shield arcane and is the only way in the game to get shield regenerating while you're taking damage at the same time. I'm not talking about abilities with brief respite or any of that stuff. Okay, balefire. Charge and launch devastating bolts of fire. Really amazing. It consumes 50 shields. Now you will notice all his kit will consume shields instead of energy. She doesn't have any energy at all. Okay. Balefire received a rework as well by activating the arcane slot, so you can equip a secondary arcane for Balefire and makes it really powerful and nice. But I will tell you later on why it technically sucks at the end game, and we're gonna talk about it all in a second. Balefire Surge, fully charged direct hits, restore 250 shields to Hildryn. Impact with nullifier shields will destroy them and restore 750 shields. In theory, really amazing. Low to mid game, you'll be good. End game, it's gonna be so bad, and I will show you why. Pillage. Percentage of shields and pillage a percentage of shields and armor of nearby enemies. Means you can armor strip enemies with pillage, but you need 400% strength, which is not really realistic. So running around 150 to 200, so you cast it 3 times to 2 times to armor strip enemies, we're gonna be fine. But the most amazing part about pillage is that it replenished Hildryn's own shields and over shields. Also removes statue effects from Hildryn's and her allies. Really amazing. Got an augment called the Blazing Pillage. Enemies affected by Haven, which is the third ability, will be set ablaze for 200 hit damage and restore 50 additional shields to Hildryn. Really amazing and helps your shield and stuff, but at the end game sucks. Now, Haven, the third ability, it doesn't have augment. Create a shield aura around allies. Enemies that approach shielded allies will take damage. Consume 250 shields at cast. 5 shields per ally and 25 shields per enemy. Really amazing ability, but again, for low to mid game. Aegis Storm takes the sky, and technically what you're gonna do is simple. You go up in the sky, like a Superman, you start lifting enemies, they start pooping energy, and you'll be able to hit them with Balefire, and when you consume all your shields, boom, you fall down in the ground without shields, and you are vulnerable to damage technically. But of course it gives you a certain amount of vulnerability, but still, you know, if you're taking damage during that times, and you will, it will not be really amazing. Playing it is very simple. You want Haven to be active, Pillage to armor strip and cleanse yourself, and of course get your shields, Aegis Storm to go up, gets energy, and Balefire to kill enemies, and that's how you play her. Really simple. Now let me show you more power and more information that no one will tell you. Now, first thing, that she is unmodded right now. There is no mods at all on her, and we're gonna be testing her this way. So what you're gonna be doing, gonna summon level 230 heavy corrupted gunners, right, like so, and we just activate our second ability. As you can see, we'll be armor stripping them like 4 casts or something like that, or maybe like around 5, and as you can see, like so. Now, fourth ability will pick them up in the air, like so, and they will start pooping that energy. And energy, in case you're wondering, it will give you shields instead. And then you fall down and you are like invulnerable for a certain duration. You see that 0.5 seconds before your shield got regenerated. Okay, look at it one more time. You see? Boom, 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 invulnerable. If you get a hit at this time, exactly, you're pretty much dead. And let me prove it to you by imposing those enemies. So, I'll just pick them up in the air. The moment I'm down, look at that. Boom, dead. Okay, so what we learned here, that the fourth ability can play against you because it drains your energy. It drains your shields and gives enemy a window where they're gonna take you down. Now, when you cast the second ability and you have no shields, you're pretty much dead. Let me do it one more time. This is very important, guys. If you're trying to main Hildryn or you play Hildryn the right way, you need to learn all this stuff. Okay, so second ability, we're gonna be casting it over and over and over and over. Let's wait for the invulnerability to go. There we go, casting. But you can't cast it when you don't have shield. Okay, if you start getting this, you will understand everything. And you're gonna be so good at Hildryn. First ability active because we have shields, and now we're gonna be start hitting enemies and consume our shields. Okay, now look at this. Boom. Okay, now we like lost all our shields, so we can't even use the first ability. Simple as that. Now, the thing is here, let me take this down. And now if I just equip the shield recharging mods, let's go for example, redirection. I will put even vigor. I will put let's say fast deflection, and I will put the vigilante vigor. I will put arcane aegis. Let's take arcane aegis for now. So I am full shield recharging. Okay, so I have like the 0.2 seconds, 3.5 seconds of ability, shield recharge 871. We're doing really good. Now enemies will attack us, and we have a high chance of not dying, but still of course we can die. Okay, we have a nice shield recharge, but the big thing happened when we become invulnerable for 3.5 seconds, and that is 0.5 seconds we dead. The reason we died, not because the shield recharge mechanic failed, no, because you was taking damage during invulnerability, so your shields need 4 seconds because you fully what happened is this: you lost all your shields, so you will need 4 seconds to regenerate. Also, you're taking damage, so your shield will not be able to regenerate even if you finish the 4 seconds. Okay, so you learned that now. That's very, very important and may help you understand why you die sometimes. So how we do this? Simply, for example, we take damage when we become invulnerable for 3.5 seconds from the shield gate. Just give it a second. There we go. Now what we do is we run away, like so. Now we regenerate our shields. Okay, because as long as if you're taking damage, you will not regenerate shields. Even her 3.5 seconds invulnerability will not help you. But if you teleport out with your operator, you can shield regenerate. Okay, so because you have like 3.5 seconds, all you need is 0.5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Boom. We're taking no damage. You see, we're generating shields. Okay, here we go. Putting back our there we go. Boom. So you learned something today that I am sure 99% of Thanos doesn't pay attention to, or they don't even know. Look at that. So by just going to operator when you shield gate on Hildryn, you can pretty much regenerate your shields. See? So technically, you are immortal. All you need is that 0.5 seconds not taking damage. Okay? Simple as that. Now, let's talk about the real deal. And now we start with the Archon Shards build. Tano, I need to explain to you one thing. Archon Shards you can't go wrong with. You can build them however you want, wherever you want. It depends on your style, depends on the helmet ability you're using. You can just inspire from mine, but Archon Shards change from one to another. Because everyone tries different things, likes different things. So keep that in mind. So I'm running melee critical damage, ability strength, casting speed, melee critical damage, and melee critical damage. And trust me, Thanos, a lot of Thanos will tell you it's wrong to run 2 Emerald Archon Shards here to armor strip enemies with your weapon. It's not wrong at all. I know Pillage can do that, but Pillage consumes shields and of course gets you back shields. But at high level enemies, you know, you pretty much don't have shields because they just one-shot it all the time, and you don't want to stress your Hildryn more than it should. But of course you'll be casting Pillage when you have enough shields all the time. But I didn't go for that. I feel comfortable with the build I'm going to show you today, and you'll be good to go. Now, next thing I want to talk to you about is Helmith ability and what to use. First thing first, I would replace Balefire or replace Aegis Storm. I didn't replace Balefire because it's nice to have. It's not so bad, honestly. Aegis Storm, because energy, I don't really need it. I'm going for shield recharging, and I'll explain everything in a second. But the Aegis Storm and the Balefire, they are really, really powerful when it comes to low and mid game. And remember, Tano, low level showcase, I can show you everything. I can show you whatever I want. I mean, I can show you so much power, I can show you so much shit, but at level cap, things are different 100,000%. Okay, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean in a second. So, what helmet you use? You can use Silence from Banshee, really amazing, and I love it. You can use, for example, Terrify, if you want to scare enemies away and armor strip them faster than Pillage. That's an option. You can use Eclipse to increase your damage, and also you get damage reduction for your shields. Also, you can use Zata Whisper if you plan on doing disruptions, or level cap Void Cascade still works. You can use Quiver or Evade to become invisible. There is nothing wrong with that, but he's a very good tank. I didn't feel he needs to become invisible. He's just tanky enough, but it's an option that you can use. Of course, you can use Roar, which is a multiplicative damage to all faction, which is like a universal faction damage multiplier. It's a multiplicative to base damage and additive to other sources of faction damage. You can use any Wrathful Advance if you want to go for melee weapons to push for red crits, and so on and so on and so on. The list goes on. Use whatever you want, Tano. Nourish as well for Vira. Use whatever you want, Tano. The most important, you have fun. And my build today that I will share with you, any helmet ability, almost like 99% of helmet ability will work with it. Alright. And the build I'm talking to you about is this one. Because previously I gave you this one, right? Previously I gave you this one with Eclipse. Now I changed it around and I took, instead of Eclipse, I took the Nourish this time. Now, because I want always to take frames to level cap with different helmet ability. If I take it once with Quiver, next time I take it with Eclipse, next time I take it with Nourish, and so on and so on and so on. The whole idea is to have every Warframe built with almost all the good helmet abilities, and then the wars eventually will take years, I know, but it will happen eventually. So, corrosive projection, enemies lose 18% armor to help on the pillage part. Primal Sure-Footed to resist knockdown. Getting knocked down is not fun at all. But the problem with Primal Sure-Footed is that a lot of Thanos doesn't have access to it because you will need 400 login days. So instead of that, if you're going too low and mid-game, take it off, brother. Use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. You will survive. You can use even normal Sure-Footed, use Speed Drift, Power Drift. I don't care. But if you're going for the end game, I highly recommend using Handspring for now. But the decision is always yours. You don't have to, but it helps. Rolling Guard, of course, it's very, 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 very good and important. Why? Because it's not only that you're facing damage, but also you're facing stats. And Rolling Guard will cleanse you from a lot of stats, especially when you are under a lot of stress, or you're inside a nullifier bubble, or you got a magnetic proc on you and you are losing all your shields and you don't have access to pillage, because there is that moment where enemies boom take down all your shield and you need to roll to help down that 3.5 seconds. So technically you got 3.5 seconds from your shields. If you roll guard every time you shield gate, you don't have to go to operator, but the time is not really convenient as enemies will take down your shields very fast. I use it mainly to cleanse myself from magnetic, and like in very, very bad situations, and trust me, you will need it. Now, some Thanos would say, oh, you don't need it, I understand. But when you go enough level cap, you understand the power and how amazing Rolling Guard is. Try it, and you'll see. Low to mid game, take care of, brother. You don't even need it. Primed Vigor, shield capacity and health. Primed Redirection for shield capacity. Stretch for ability range. Fast deflection for shield recharge and shield recharge delay. To regenerate as much shield as fast as possible. And to reach the cap of shield regenerating, and of course later on we're gonna go for Aegis continuity, vigor, intensify for strength. Now I didn't want to go, for example, for the what it is, transient fortitude right here, okay, because I just wanted to keep my duration as good as that. Arcane Aegis on shield damage, 3% chance for 30% shield recharge for 12 seconds. And what makes Arcane Aegis really powerful, not only the 30% shield recharge, but that shield recharge will work with all your shield recharge, and you can recharge while you are taking damage. And that's what makes Arcane Aegis the best arcane when it comes to shield recharging. Arcane Precision on headshot, 300% damage for 18 seconds on secondary weapons, because I relied on my secondary weapon to kill enemies. Also the balefire considered as a secondary weapon. And that's pretty much it, and that's the build. Now, when it comes for other stuff, Sedo build in the channel, Dual Toxkis in the channel, Hildryn Prime build in the channel, balefire. Go! Now, balefire, galvanized diffusion for multi-shot and on-kill more multi-shot, Ornate Strike for damage, and I can show you right now how important Ornate Strike is. I want you to look very carefully here, 76,000 damage, 24,000 damage. So you technically lose like 50,000 damage just taken off Ornate Strike. Primed Expel Grenier is multiplicative damage against the faction you're fighting, and you want to replace it every time you're fighting a different faction. Now, a lot of channels doesn't like to do that, and I hope one day, please, DE, give us an NPC where we can give our our faction mods, and we get the universal one. We would be very, very like thankful. Now, if you don't like to use Primed Expel Urkin, you got Magnum Force. You can use that to push your total damage to 116. But damage here, and you got Precision. I'm not really a fan of that. So you can use Galvanized Shot instead. Really amazing and worth it in my opinion. Otherwise, you can use anything that you see fit. More Element, whatever. Like anything that increases your damage, increases your crit damage, you're good to go. Now, Primal Target Cracker for critical damage, Lethal Turret for fire rate and multi-shot, Magnetic Might for magnetic and critical damage. We need Magnetic against enemy's shield and against enemy's overguard. Magnetic now works, same thing like works viral for HP, Magnetic works for shield and overguard. The game doesn't tell you that, but I hope DE adjusts this a little bit to say increase. Oh, they fixed it actually. They did. Magnetic increase shield and overguard damage by up to 325% with multiple stacks. Okay, that's nice. GGD. Now, Frost, Cold, and Statue Chance. Or maybe I didn't see it before. I was like not paying attention. Primed Heated Charge for Heat. Secondary Innervate to increase critical chance by 10%. Resets after 6 big critical hits. This weapon has 5% critical chance, which makes it a perfect candidate for Secondary Innervate. Why? Secondary Innervate critical chance increase is absolute. Means if you get 1 million critical chance from Secondary Innervate, it will be 1,005,000%. It's not a percentage of what you have. It's a percentage that will be absolute to whatever you get. It's like a real straightforward percentage of critical chance you get. Now, when it comes to Companion, I'll be using Nautilus. Of course, you can use Worm to negate and all that kind of stuff. Cordon to pull enemies, Vacuum to pull the loot, Assault to attack, Guardian boost owner shields by 100% when it runs out. Thumbs up. Manifold for more Cordon than shield. Tenacious Bond for critical chance. Critical damage if your sentient weapon has 50% plus critical chance. Shield Recharger, increase Warframe max shield and shield regeneration by 60% for 10 seconds. Reinforced Bond for fire rate. Primed Regen for recovery time. Now, Verglass Prime is the best sentient weapon in the game, and you need a Riven for it. Sorry, I know I don't use Rivens in my builds, but he needs a Riven to reach the 50% plus critical chance. As you can see right here, with critical delay, he can't make it. Now, if you don't like to use Verglass, there is no issue there. Use Primed Laser Rifle, Volcloak, or Burst Laser Prime until you change your mind. Okay, now it's time for some showcase. For that, we will unpause those enemies, and then we will use Nourish like so. And as you will see right here, we are generating very good. Now, if my Arcane Aegis doesn't proc when I am at the gate, I'll use Operator and come back to my Warframe. Simple as that. There is now I have Aegis active. There is no way they can kill me. As you can see, I'm resisting all the damage because Aegis will regenerate shield even if I am taking damage. And that's all you need to understand. Now, when it comes to pillage, you cast once, twice, 3 times, and enemies pretty much are armor stripped. Third ability, Haven, is really nice because these guys are really low and they will not one-shot your shield technically. Now, boom, go back to my Warframe, boom. That's how exactly you do it. You just go transference out, and 3.5 seconds will play the best role for you, and you'll be good to go. Okay, until DE nerfs the fact that I don't want to gonna say that, but whatever. So, Nourish active, like so. Now activating the balefire, and as you can see, we'll be taking them down. Don't worry at all. Now we lost the balefire, and that's why it sucks at the high level, because you activate balefire and you expect that it will kill enemies for you, but what happened is that the balefire, okay, it stopped because it doesn't have shields to consume. Okay, so if I oppose enemies, it will be a good showcase. Look at that. I'll be armor stripping them. I'll be good. Boom. I'll be so like very powerful, right? Look, because I have my shields, no one is taking them down, and we'll be good to go. Okay, but honestly, to be honest, I'll be honest with you, Balefire. Balefire is really good when it comes to low to mid game. I mean, even level 230, taking down your shields, there is no issue in there. But when it comes to the end game, no, my friend, don't rely on it. Bring your own weapons. Now, is it suck 100%? No, it's really good. I will tell you, I will show you why. Let's pick, for example, this D build here. I'll just like copy this one to D right here and show you how to build around that. Now, we all know armor sucks, damage reduction sucks when it comes to high level content, but we can adjust this accordingly to low to mid game. So what you do here is very simple. We take off stretch, we put adaptation in here. Okay, simple as that. And I will just copy this like so to the level 99999 where we have eclipse. Okay, and just here it will be damage reduction, so you see what I mean. And we're gonna unpause these guys, so I'll just hold the fourth ability. Sorry, I'll just tap the fourth ability. So this lunar, right? This damage reduction, perfect. Now I have damage reduction, so you can see now damage reduction is really good at low level, but at high level this will not help you. You will die. Okay, so because we have enough damage reduction, now we can use the balefire. And so we use the balefire, and because the idea is this: if you have enough damage reduction so you don't lose enough shield, you can use the balefire and you can spam it like I'm just doing right now. Okay, and that's why I told you guys many times in my live streams, don't get trapped. Don't get trapped in, for example, because I get a lot of Thanos DMing me, Hank, this build works so good at low level, would it work at high level? I say, from where you get it? They say from someone, they show us it's very powerful in this. I say, where did they show it to you? He say, like, low level content. I said them, no, you need to take builds from people who show you a level cap content. Going back to D now, so we can use our Aegis Storm, and I don't care what augment you use. It doesn't matter. Use whatever you want. Okay, so where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to low level content. For me, low level content is Steel Path, Void Mod. I know this video taking a bit long, but there is no way around it where I can give you all this information. Okay, I even forgot where Void Mod is. There we go. And remember, Tano, the purpose of this videos is not for you to copy paste blindly, but to ensure that you come out from this video with something precious, which is knowledge and information, because you can copy builds anywhere, but understanding and being able to make your own builds, that it doesn't come easy. Okay, fourth ability, so they're up and we're good. Remember, Tano, remember, you will not be able to do this at level cap. You will be dead by now. Right now you're dead, technically dead at level cap. Okay, so remember that, Tano. Okay, so activating Balefire, and I'll be just like sitting like this, and you'll be just like killing everything. Especially my build is like with blast, and blast get blasty, because you'll be taking down all that stuff, like all those enemies with the damage you deal. And this is exactly the low level content I'm talking to you about. And I could like push this build even way stronger, doing more damage and stuff like that. But my dear Tano, the build will not scale, and I don't want to fail as a content creator, giving you builds that are a show but no go. And this is exactly what I mean. Now, if I tell you, yes, Tano, take this build the way it is, it will work like this for you at level cap, I'd be lying to you. I would be like chasing views. I would be chasing like new Thanos joining the game. I'd be wasting your resources, and I'd be wasting your time. Okay? Because this is not how exactly things work. Okay? So I hope this gives you the perfect like show about how things actually work, because honestly, I'll be very honest with you guys, it's very easy for me to just make builds, come to Void Mod like I was doing in 2021, and I just show you things like this, or damage caps, or like amazing powerful builds, you know, but they don't scale. And I know a lot of Thanos doesn't like some helmet abilities I use, but I need to explain one thing, that I show you only helmet abilities that I feel comfortable and they are tested at level cap. Now you'd say, why level cap? Why level cap? That's I get a lot of questions. Level cap is the highest level in the game, where enemies EHP at maximum, where enemies damage is at maximum. And if a build can do it there, it can do it anywhere. Okay? Simple as that. Okay, so giving you a build where you actually scale, where the build actually scale, means if you go with your friends taking Papa Hank builds, that means you will not fail and you'll be thankful to me. Instead of taking a build like this to level cap, you'll be end up dying and I will lose my reputation and your trust. And I hope this explains the Tenno. So use the information and the knowledge however you like. In the end, I would give Hildryn 8 out of 10. It's a very, very, very amazing and powerful tank. I love it, honestly. And yes, it's worth your investment, 100%. It has one of the greatest passives in the game. Thumbs up. Hildryn will never fail you if you build it correctly for the correct content. Remember that. Now, I want to say thank you so much if you made it this far. If you did, let me know in the comments below. And shout out to all Tennos who watches my video from the beginning to the end, trying to learn new things. Shout out to the Tennos who actually trying to inspire from my builds and make their own. And shout out to the Tennos who copy my builds, but not blindly. And please don't copy builds blindly. You will not be happy in the long run. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Special thanks to Hall of Members, special VIPs, and disputed donators, Hall of Donations, and all my community. Please let me know in the comments below if you find this video helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.